Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and a warm welcome to this week's Walking Wednesday. I feel like I'm squinting because of the sun, not sure. Either way, this is a new series that, yes, I'm squinting because of the sun, I should probably walk the other direction. This is a new series that I'm going to start just to give people some updates about what's going on every week. I was going to start this last week, but the file got corrupted, so I'm starting again now. And yes, this is a sort of spin-off of Workout Wednesday, if you know that series by Zach Anna, I can't remember, however you say his name in a British accent. The guy from Lohan, essentially. You know, the Smoyoho song. If you haven't heard that one, check it out. It is indeed a bop. So, yes, now that that principle is out of the way, I guess I can get into talking about some things. And also, if you're wondering where I am right now, I am in Liverpool, somewhere near where I live, but not too close that I can be tracked. And I don't think I've actually explored this these streets before. They don't seem too familiar to me, but they do look quite quaint actually, and certainly a bit more beautiful than the place that I'm in at the moment. Just showing off the area a bit. It looks very nice, I must say. So yeah, just patrolling the neighbourhood essentially, seeing what I can see. We'll have lots of adventures. Explore backpack with me. No one's going to get that reference. And that's a thing from years ago for me, not from the last week or so. I was going to give an update on the Mutant Girl last week because that episode hadn't come out yet, but now the episode has come out. Albeit slightly later than I intended. Still on the same day by technicalities of YouTube. But yes, it was rendering until the nightfall. So yeah. Oh, also I was going to say, this is probably not going to be a very well edited video. I don't think I'm going to do much in the way of that because this is just to get a few things off of my chest, you know. Not that I have any particular dramatics to express. Nothing like that. Just discussing what's been happening. So, within the last week or so, in the last week or so, I've been back at home with family. As you know, I live in Liverpool currently, but my family live in a different city, and I've been visiting them. And I might be going back sometime soon, actually. So maybe next Walking Wednesday is going to be back at the good old home, or at least the what is ever registered as my permanent address, you see. Because I've had several homes over the years, because we keep moving. My parents actually said something interesting to me a couple of days ago. They said that the house that they're currently in is the longest they've stayed in a place since they were 18 years old. Oh yeah, I mean, that house is the longest place I've stayed since I was born, so that adds up for me. Oh well. In any case, I also got to see a few friends of mine. And then immediately, well not immediately afterwards, a few days afterwards, I was off on the train again. And the meeting with friends of mine, you remember Sophie from that video? Well, she was there, and also our mutual friend Crystal. And I wish I could tell you, where you would know Crystal from, but unfortunately, the short film that Sophie and I did for her has been lost to time. So I don't think you'll be able to see that. Although actually, I will say that she did the cinematography for Doctor's Paradise. You know, the music video that I had to actually remove because it was for a school project, and the other actress who was in it didn't want to be online, even though it's the best outlet for actors nowadays, really. So so obliging with her wishes, I unlisted the video. So yeah, I guess I can play. Honestly, no, I'm not going to edit this video, am I? I could say that I should show you the segment that hasn't got me in it, which is in another video, but that video got copyright struck. It's just the Jimothy Lacoste video. Anyone, any seasoned veterans from last year remember that video? The one where I keep on saying it wasn't supposed to be a massive critique, and yet he took it as a massive critique, even though it was not a massive critique. Yes, my first and only community guidelines strike. Ah, classic. He actually did another video I was going to comment on. I was going to do a commentary in Spanish on a different channel, but I never got round to it, because he made a video called I Can Speak Spanish. Well, he actually kind of surprised me with how much Spanish he knew, but at the same time, he had a lot of grammatical mistakes as well. It was kind of a weird mix of things. Not really sure what I was supposed to make of it, quite frankly. Oh, speaking of other YouTubers, I'd like to say happy birthday to Goldhawk, who is a friend of mine. I've just received notification that it's his birthday today. I haven't talked to him in quite some time, actually. I feel quite bad for that, because yeah, I really should actually talk to him some more. Ah, look, I'm at the docks already. Yeah. So yeah, Goldhawk is a fellow actor, fellow YouTuber, fellow Minecraft player, fellow theorist actually one time. I don't know if he did his first theory before mine, but it was somewhere along those same lines. It was about, I think it was Final Fantasy, I could be wrong. It could be Skyrim. I will have to check. In fact, I'll link it in the description actually, because it was actually an interesting theory, even though I knew nothing about the subject matter. I think I'll have to wait. You know, I could just go that way. But you know what, I quite fancy taking a stroll along the docks. Here's the thing with lights here in Liverpool. Either you can't actually see them, or they're completely and utterly useless. So yeah, I have to follow the guidelines represented right here. However long they may take. Because we pedestrians, oh there they go, it's green. We pedestrians don't get much in the way of, hello. We pedestrians don't get much in the way of priority, usually. So we end up, where the place where I live actually has a 10-second limit on crossing a gap that's about that wide, you say? I'd say? Yeah. So yes, I can cross that fine and just get to the other side if I'm walking. You know, if people are running, then they have no problem. However, I do know that my 90-year-old grandmother would not be able to do the exact same thing. So it's incredibly unfair. Not only that, but there's a lot of times where there's red lights for everyone. Just everyone in general. So no one actually goes anywhere. And if they do, they have to predict where the lights actually are in the cycle, which isn't always as intuitive as one might think. Consider my pet peeved about that. Which way should I go? That way. Police headquarters. Remember in the Giants video that I did? Well, in that video, I was filming towards myself, but on the other side of the camera there were actually police officers, and they thought I was filming them from incredibly up close. I had to explain that I was in selfie mode. So yeah, that was a fun conversation. Well, actually, it really lasted a short while, so I'm really just embellishing it, giving it that bit of garnish that it needs. You see. What else have I not talked about yet? What's been happening in the past week? Ah, yes. Well, actually, I can't really talk about that. There's been a lot of plans that are being made down at Buttercore. When I say down at Buttercore, it could be... Buttercore's everywhere. Buttercore's in a bunch of places in the US. So yeah, towards the west in Buttercore, we've been planning a lot of things, most of which we can't really express right now because I'm trying to keep them a surprise. We've had a project for a long time that we've been working on, but we're not going to really announce it until we have all the preparations done for it. But for now, actually, the thing we were discussing last week was the potential for old roleplays of mine to come back yet again, because I keep trying to resuscitate them. I just can't leave a dead horse to die, can I? It has to be given as much CPR as possible. So yes, things like Tales of Sir Nicanor, Fortius Pascal, and even the last log of Tertius Hazelwick, I am planning to resuscitate, and that's all I can express for now in terms of how Buttercore would work. Because actually, all of those, except for possibly Tales of Sir Nicanor, could benefit from voice actors and other producers. Actually, yeah, Tales of Sir Nicanor as well. But the thing is with Tales of Sir Nicanor, it's based on a roleplay called Tale of Kingdoms that I did. Well, not that I did, sorry, that I did a fan fiction of. It was actually made by Paul Sawyers Jr. It's one of the first Minecraft roleplays. So you can imagine it's very survival based, and it is only Paul doing all of the audio on the spot. So yeah, and actually Fortius Pascal was based on Legend of Hoodie, which is the sequel, or well, actually no, the prequel to Tale of Kingdoms. So actually, yeah, a lot of my older roleplays aren't based on Aphmau, they're based on Paul Sawyers Jr. Because, well, partly because his productions were a lot easier to do, and also because I discovered Aphmau mostly after I'd done those roleplays. Like Fortius Pascal was in 2015. Back then Minecraft Diaries was still going on, and I was unaware of it. I found Aphmau around 2016. So actually that means that I missed out on the early days, on the good old Garmau-Larmau war, apparently. So yes, I was not given that piece of information until much later, actually. And by that point I was watching Skyder's Minecraft, and I guess I knew who Aphmau was, but I didn't really check out her channel until later. Big mistake. I wish that I found her channel in 2012, actually. I wish I would have been there from the very beginning. Because people like for example, Shiny, who's the voice actor for Marwick in The Mutant Girl. That's all he'll be known for right now, but later on I'll clarify some more. Sorry, just looking at the road again. Da-da-da-da. There's no traffic lights this time. Another Aphmau lesson. Look both ways when you cross the street. Of course. What was I saying? Ah, yes. According to Shiny, he's actually been an Aphmau fan for the longest, technically speaking, because he was there during the days of Iron and Coal. At which point I was still doing the first episodes of Super Mario 63, Season 1. Oh boy. No, but to be fair, I do love that series. And I think I might actually bring it back, so sometime. Hello. Sorry, that's friends of mine. I actually realised I'm actually really close to their house, so maybe I'll just stroll over there and then head back up that way, so I'm not doing a turn around and loop like that. Yeah, I was actually at a party here fairly recently, or just before I left actually, and that's before editing episode 3 is what completely messed up my my bedtime schedule, because I was up until the sun came out. Yes, call me the party animal. Okay. Oh, thank you. I'm in the middle of a drive-through. I think I've gone the wrong way. No, I haven't gone the wrong way. It's up there, but I've gone the wrong way to access it. Okay, here we go. Sometimes I really think I should plan these things out a lot more than I actually do. But in any case, look at that actually, Chadwick's. Domestic hardware and cleaning materials, glues and abrasives, ironmongery and fastenings. Oh, the places you find around here actually, a lot of them haven't really updated their signs and promotions, they just keep them the same. I guess if they've worked since 1916, they shall continue to work past 2016. I guess, why not? Yeah, walk up this way. Oh, also, Love Lane Brewery. That is, that's an interesting place. Not only because but not because it reminds me of Lover's Lane from the MyStreet series, but also because I actually fell asleep there one time. Not because I was drunk or anything, I don't actually drink alcohol, but because I was just so tired. Ironically enough, it was for another party that was on this very street. It seems that the people here actually host a lot of parties now I think about it. But yeah, it was only 11, but for some reason I hadn't had enough sleep then. So I just nodded off after I had a glass of water. I guess they might have thought it was vodka or something, you never know. Either way. It's hard to tell. In fact, I know people who have had water and think that it is vodka. Right, well, I think I've exhausted the art of human conversation for right now. I'll tell you what, let me know in the comments what it is that you have done in the past week. Let's see. Yeah. And yes, I know I said everything about looking both ways. Sometimes when you're absorbed in what you're doing, I don't know, I can't make excuses for that, that was terrible. Look both ways, people. But as I was saying, if you have anything that you've done in the past week that's particularly interesting, then do please let me know. And I guess I'll be able to talk about that in the next edition if it's particularly interesting. But also whatever happens with me, because I'm sure that there's a lot of things that are going to be planned. Oh yeah, the next MyStreet review is going to come out. It's probably going to come out today or tomorrow. I know I promise that all the time. But at the same time, it is just one thing that you have to that I keep working on, and sort of gets pushed back because of Buttercore projects. It's like it's going to a second priority now. Also, have you seen the pictures of Jess and her new baby? My goodness. Yeah, what was that? I was going to say something else now. I thought of something else to say. Oh yes, the Michael song is actually doing a lot better. It used to be that it got, at one point it got way more dislikes than likes, just all of a sudden, and now suddenly it's the other way around, the ratings have gone up. I don't actually get why that is, that the ratings are so divided, because I haven't got that much feedback on the negatives. But clearly people are now enjoying the positives more, and like I said, your opinion matters. So yeah, ooh, I'm actually back by the cathedral already. I am almost home, and I didn't even take this route last time. So yes, in that regard, wait a minute. I just realised I could have taken a shorter route this whole time to get to their house. Oh, I don't even know why I even try these things. Whatever. In any case, like I was saying, leave whatever you did this week in the comments, and I'm going to sign up for real this time. please leave a like or dislike, because once again, your opinion matters. And on that note, until next time, farewell.